Okay, I think we should be live. Hey, everybody, or whoever that's decided to accompany me for day one of the Academy extravaganza. It's the Parade of Providence, I think, but I think they called it the Academy. The Academia extravaganza on live stream. So I think it's a cool name. Anyways, welcome to my channel again. I'm Shadow Meowth, and I will be my original plan for streaming this event, of which I'm actually looking quite forward to it. I'm quite interested on this event, and I really wanted to stream it and give my insights on it. And that's what I'm going to do, of course, at the best of my capacity, considering I'm still a lore diver, Genshin lore diver in training, so to speak. I can know my facts in other games, but I'm still training myself when it comes to Genshin. But anyways, I really enjoyed playing through through Nahida's study quest and giving my insights, even though I think I made the quest a bit longer than intended, pausing every now and then, but I mean, that's just how my content is, I guess. I mean, I can't speak much of content since I've been a long time on YouTube, but I've never been never engage in this sort of live and social interaction, so to speak. Anyways, but yeah, the thing is, I had my doubts. I wasn't sure if I should stream the event once in one go, as it was complete, but I finally decided to do it in shorter pieces because it's probably easier to swallow for viewers, I guess, if they come across this video on YouTube. But also because I'm really excited, and I doubt I could wait for playing through this event until the final day. So yeah. However, I will probably be doing on my own the other the side things as they unlock. But we'll be doing some of these live, I guess, today. And yeah, I also have to finish the Winnet event because I'm kind of forgot these days. I mean, I did a bit of like maybe 3 first quests, and then I forgot to clear those once I was but yeah, I will take that as an opportunity to elaborate on something that I have been thinking about in terms of this patch theme, and I actually want to check the event first before starting making assumptions. But I will elaborate a bit on that as we go. So yeah, I would say without further ado, we start. Oh, by the way, the other day I couldn't read YouTube comments as I was streaming, but I installed an add-on to OBS that allows me to read live chat on YouTube. So if you want to comment something, rest assured that I will be replying to it. So if you have a question or you have a comment or you disagree with me on this or that, please don't hesitate to do that. And if you do but you fail to catch this live, do it in the comments and I will surely answer. So yeah, that's what I want to say. But anyways, I say we begin. I'm really interested as of what's expecting us. So yeah. I am kind of sad that it's not until next week that we're going to get Baiju and Kabe, but meh, it's just 1 week and I will have a bit more resources by then, I guess. It's going to hurt nonetheless. Okay.
Strange. Hyman's heard lots of people talking about this Akademiya extravaganza thing earlier. Wonder what that is. Maybe there'll be fun things to do there. Let's go to the Akademiya and have a look for ourselves.
I'm kind of thinking as I have as I'm leading with all of them. Yeah, that's not exactly what. Oh yeah, I will. I do have to stream Baiju's story quest as well. I do plan to do that. I'm going to go for Baiju and these two. Though I wouldn't mind getting extra Candaces since I got her C0, so I wouldn't mind. Fischl, I love Fischl, but I already I've had her C6 for a long time now. But yeah, okay. I don't really play Genius Invocation TCG, so that doesn't really ascend it. But anyways, okay, so things. That's okay. So let's check. Maybe momentous celebration for the Akademiya this year's Akademiya experiences extra lively, with competitions and amusements aplenty, made with people from all across Tibet and during a time of revelry. That's great. So, here's this thing that I don't really want to start flaming, so to speak, but there's something that really irks me, and it's when by personal biases and interpretations, and that's basically the reason of my usual beef with shippers throughout my Lord diving career, is when you take something and then you try to pass something as proof between many quotes of your ship, even though in Genshin there's no canon ship. There's deliberately, like, it all boils down to people's interpretation, and that's fine as long as you're conscious that it's just an interpretation, which is fine, I guess. What I don't take well is when people start believing their own delusions and trying to force say delusions into others. Like, if you want to believe your own delusions, then you're fine, it's your problem, but don't shove them through down other people's throats. And why I'm bringing this up? First, because I know what this event is going to cause, regrettably. Second, and it's a shame because I love the Sumeru Bros. And second, I saw it was not an official account on Twitter, but it's one of these accounts that spread lore and news, and you're supposed to take these things seriously because many people will be relying on your information as to believe what's actually going on. So this, I think I commented this on Twitter. like this very early morning because I couldn't sleep, and it was like, yeah, if you're the admin of lore news account, you have to separate what is fact. This is actually a lore diving, or should be a lore diving staple. You have to separate what is fact and what you're and the news that you're sharing with interpretation bias, and that includes shipping. And this account in particular that I had the misfortune of come across and is annoying me for like a good while, had this shared the animation, because we only had the artwork at first, and we know that Genshin animates these things, right? And they were using this animation saying that the usual argument that regarding these two, that Kabe was looking at all Haytham and all Haytham was looking at Kabe, and it basically, I was like, if you're going to make something up, then at least do it right. Because we have to take in consideration the composition of this artwork. I'm going to do this because they annoy me, and I want to start debunking some stuff. Not debunking in a bad sense. Just I don't want to rain in anyone's parade. My only intention is really is please don't spread some stuff as fact when it's not. Then in your private time or with your friends or anything, or with your community, share whatever you want. Be delusional. I don't care. But from official accounts, please don't spread misinformation or don't spread interpretations. And that's where I want to go, because they were saying that Kabe was looking at Haytham and Haytham was looking at Kabe. So I'm studying. I didn't have a better view of Haytham, but now I do have a better quality, because what they shared was a GIF. So we have Saino and Tainari over here, and so you can see they're looking at the camera, and so are Haytham and Kabe. But here's the thing. An animated scene has its limitations. Like Tainari, for example, is very animated for one of these pieces, like throwing and catching his flower bowl. But these things have, well, I say limitations, but it's like here we're basically having the animation of the eyes and the hair and a bit of the clothes, somewhat. But it's kind of easy to debunk, at least because Haytham's angle is a bit it's a bit complicated, because his usual how is it called in English? The back facing, the side glance to the camera, like his back is turned to the camera, but his head is turned facing the camera. So with Kabe it's easier to see. If he was looking at Haytham, he would his eyes. If you look at that, the movement should be the irises should go higher because of perspective, because Haytham is closer to the camera. So this would be, if this were the case, properly, it would have to be accompanied with lifting a bit, lifting the head a bit. But this is just an animation, so it's simple animation, so to speak. But In fact, Kabe is most is if you check the movement of the irises, he's looking backwards, not in front of him. He's not looking. It's a perspective thing. He's not looking to his right. He's looking to his right and behind. Because if he were looking to the right and the front, the irises would go instead of downwards, they would go upwards. I don't know if I'm making sense. As for Al-Haytham, is kind of complicated because of the angle. He could be. It's difficult to track this because he's in the front. So when he's looking ahead, he's not turning. Of course, the art prevents from turning the face as to really see where he's looking at. So it could be both. It could be both cover. It could be Tainari and Sign, or it could be all of them. So this is. It sounds stupid that I feel that this needs an explanation. But when I've seen accounts, of course, if you want to, take this as, oh, they're looking at each other and they're sharing glances, and then yeah, I mean, do it if you want to, but don't do it from an account that's supposedly meant to spread lore and news, because if you do, then it's going to cause a number of misinterpretations. I mean, and I'm not saying shipping is based on interpretation, and it can be wrong, and most time is wrong, but it's like don't do this from an official account. As I mean, preferably, we lore divers have to face with many people and believing in misconceptions because other people don't know or don't want to separate personal bias from facts, or they don't want their craft, or they don't know their craft if they want to dedicate themselves to lore and stuff. So, and I will say that shipping culture baffles me for has always baffled me and mostly has only caused me trouble when it comes to analyzing stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of a bit salty, but in other circumstances this would have never prompted an analysis from me. Because I don't really care. I would have probably never spur the animation like a second glance looking for or basically scrapping the bottom of the barrel. But like, honestly, I think you have better things to, even though I don't agree with this interpretation of Haytham and Kabe's relationship, in the end it's just an interpretation, and it should be supposed to have fun, not to annoy other people that disagree with this interpretation to death. But aside from that, being honest, I think shippers do have better things to hold on to, as to, between quotes, support their ship or base their ship on something that's something as inconsequential as an animation and the movement of the eyes, which it actually is wrong. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to spread misinformation, at least do it better. That it's not as easy as someone familiar with this stuff to, let's take perspective, animation, and composition into account and see if this is true. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that post annoyed me, and I was kind of, you've earned a comment from me on my stream. Of course, please don't take it. If you do ship anyone in the Sumeru Bros, then go ahead. I won't say anything about that. All I wanted to say is that if you're doing that, respect other people that don't agree with your opinion, because that's all that it is in the end, an opinion and an interpretation. So please remember that in Genshin there's nothing or this sort of canon. And with that out of the way, then I would say that we can start. Sorry about the rant, but yeah, I think it's something that sometimes we kind of fall into this trap of, don't stoop to stupid people's levels. When I say stupid people, I mean people who go deliberately seeking beef with people who disagree with them, which is absurd. I mean, stay in your own lane. It's not that difficult. And people who, try to shove down their canon into their canon, emphasis on their, into down. They try to shove it down everyone's throats, and that's really annoying. And I think we usually fall trap of these things that don't stoop to their level, don't rain on anyone's parade. But I mean, it's like we tell ourselves this, but in the end, it's very mentally tiring. That we do those things, that other people are very careful tagging their content so to not to bother people who don't like this content, but then some particular large popular communities don't bother because, like, I understand that perhaps some of them don't do it with consciously, but then some others feel entitled enough to not bother tagging their content and being careful just because, a sense of, I don't know if I said entitlement already, but, like, we are the ones on the right, we don't have to tag our content, and it's like, if this was even if this was a canon shape, it's a matter of respect to tag content in consideration from others who may not want it. But, respect is a word that's kind of in disuse these days. But anyways, I kind of ranted enough. Apologies for that. Well, not really. I think I haven't offended anyone, so I really shouldn't apologize. But anyway, we're here for the event, not to ramble about shipping. So yeah. Okay, let's head to the Academia. I'm really curious about how is everything. How is this going to play out? Am I going? I really should bear in mind that I can use Nahida for mind reading, so yeah. That's going to be funny. If I go into the Academia and I go straight into Alhaitham, as I'm playing Alhaitham, that's going to be, well, 2 for 1. I'm not going to complain. Okay.
A moment, if you would. Are you two the famous Traveler and Paimon by any chance?
We sure are, and who are you?
My name is Wikas, a member of the Akademiya Extravaganza Planning Committee. Have you two heard of this festival?
Only just now, but I've been waiting for this like 2 weeks, 3 weeks for now. 20 days, maybe. No, longer. Longer because, patches, live streams, I think it's a week before the patch? 2 weeks? I can't remember actually. Anyway.
Yep, and that's exactly why we're here.
Is that so? Looks like our advertising is working. Since you're both interested, would you mind if I gave you a brief explanation of the event?
Of course, that would be helpful.
So, the Akademiya Extravaganza is a grand event run by the Akademiya with a long and storied history. To be precise, it can be divided into the Wisdom Gala and the Inter-Darshan Championship. The gala is held annually. During this time, all 6 Darshans will set up booths throughout the city and host guests to showcase the most fascinating aspects of their school, and thus increase their influence. On the other hand, the championship is held once every 4 years. Each Darshan will send a representative to vie for the position of Grand Champion. This year, the gala is being held alongside the championship, so the mood in the city is, as they say, at an unprecedented fever pitch.
Got it. Cool. Thanks a bunch for the detailed explanation.
You're most welcome. Answering questions regarding the Akademiya extravaganza is my job. And I actually do have something I would like to ask the two of you.
Huh? Need our help with something?
As usual.
Well, let me begin by saying that this year's Akademiya extravaganza is of utmost
fair.
importance to us. Lesser Lord Kusanali and the sages came up with a plan for the Akademiya to recruit talented people from the desert starting next year. As such, we've invited a great number of desert dwellers to take part in this festival, so they can hopefully experience the Akademiya's atmosphere ahead of time. I've heard that the two of you are famous across both the rainforest and desert. With your participation, especially in the Inter-Darshan Championship, more people will definitely come to appreciate the festival.
Didn't just say that only Darshan representatives can take part? Yeah.
Exactly. Or do you really want us to join a Darshan?
I mean...
But then we would have to deal with exams and essays and stuff like that.
No need to worry. The championship participants have already been selected.
Oh,
I
God.
mean to invite the two of you as guest commentators. Your job will be to observe and record every part of the competition. There's no pressure. Just follow each match and enjoy the festival. Aside from that, we'll also prepare some compensation for your efforts. We won't have you working for free.
That kind of sounds like a sweet deal. What do you think?
Okay, that's I mean, from the trailer, I mean, the participants, I think we already know them from the live stream, but from the trailer, we, I think, kind of know who is one of the commentators, and so it's basically not just one, so it's basically, so, sorry. So I'm curious, so basically we know two. One would be the Traveler, well, three, if we count Paimon. Second would be Al-Haytham, and is there going to be anyone else? Or is it going to be just, we're just going to be the ones with the commentator, the sport commentator arc? That would be really amusing. I'm going to ask for it.
Yes, two others.
Okay, two. Okay.
Their responsibilities will be somewhat different from yours. One of our organizers will explain the details to you later at the main venue.
Okay.
So, how about it? Would you like to take this commission?
Yeah, we will do. So it's basically three. So we got the Traveler. So I mean, they're probably going to introduce the participants, but we already know them. So basically, we have the Traveler. Well, Paimon. That's kind of a package deal. And we got Al-Haytham, and we got someone else. So I'm curious about who is the third. I have my guesses, but I don't really want to start overthinking too much. Okay, we'll give it a go.
Wow, having fun while getting paid? This sounds awesome!
The main event venue is at the outskirts of the Citadel of Regzar, and the organizer you're looking for is Karina. Tell her the situation and she'll get you set up.
Okay.
The championship is going to begin soon. I wish you a good experience serving as commentators. If you have any doubts, come find me anytime.
This is going to be... This is...
Alrighty, off we go!
Okay, comings and goings. Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
I don't know.
I see everything.
Mind empty. Okay, fine. Okay. I mean, I can just teleport. Okay. Ah, that's a nice stage here. Ah, fine.
Welcome, one and all, to the Akademiya Extravaganza. Now then, allow me to reveal the prizes for this iteration of the Interdarshan Championship. Fabulous monetary rewards, research funds, a limited edition Genius Invocation TCG card, and the right to wear the Diadem of Knowledge.
Oh,
I believe that I need not elaborate as to how this is a symbol of great honor.
it's beautiful.
She should be Karina, right? Looks like she's in the middle of something. Let's wait till she's less busy, then go introduce ourselves.
The Diadem of Knowledge. What a perfect work of art.
Every time I see it, I feel like I'm losing myself in its beauty. The one who proves fit to wear it must be a rare genius indeed.
I believe that most of you have already seen the Diadem of Knowledge or have heard tales about it. 20 years ago, a researcher named Sachin bought it for a large sum of Mora before donating it to the Akademiya. The generous championship prizes are also sourced from his sponsorship. Before we begin, allow me to express our gratitude to this researcher, who cannot be with us right now.
Things can only get worse. Things can only go from bad to worse.
Okay, now that's classic Sumeru. That's Mind's crew. That's marvelous. Okay, I guess this is the sage, but who are you?
Human nature begets conflict, and conflict begets ruin. From the beginning, the seeds of wickedness have been.
Nature begets conflict, and conflict begets ruin. So, this is, I think I mentioned this in Nahida's story quest. But if I haven't, I think I mentioned that the forbidden knowledge accentuates or enhances conflict. Yeah, that's really interesting. Forbidden knowledge, the abyss, but it's all tied to. But anyway, it's tying this to human nature. Interesting. From the beginning, the seeds of wickedness have been.
Hey, stop spacing out!
Okay. Thank you, Paimon, for
Paimon called out to you, but you didn't respond.
winning the mood.
You okay? Did you stay up late without telling Paimon?
I was.
All right. I'm sure we're all more than ready for the championship to begin. Now then, let's invite our 6 Darshan representatives to the stage. Our contestants are... representing Amorta, Tainari!
Well, cool introduction. Hey, Nari.
Representing Spontamod,
Sino! Layla!
Representing Ratawahist, Layla!
Yeah. Faru!
Representing Haravatat, Farazan!
Kabe!
Representing Kasharawar, Kabe! And for Vahumana... Huh? Is Vahumana's representative not here yet?
These introductions are pointless. Let's just get this over with.
Where did you come from?
Wait a sec. Let's see Vahumana's representative.
Finally, our final contestant is Vahumana's representative, Hat Guy!
Wait a moment. What?
Oh, so that's Hat Guy. I think I've seen him before.
Hat Oh my god. Why? I mean, I get why he's not using the name I gave him, but that's one. Is that one of Nahida's great ideas? Hat Guy, really? That's on par with Paimon's nicknames. That guy. Okay, that serves as an ugly nickname. I think that's. Sorry. That kind of caught me off guard. That guy. Okay, so he is the representative for Bahuman. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious, but it's cool to know that the Wanderer is kind of joined the Academia. That's cool. And also, by the way, you've seen the name I use for my Wanderer. It's basically Sabik is an Arabic name. That's one of the stars of the Ophiuchus constellation. In Final Fantasy XIV, the heart of Sabik is an important term, and because of Skara's story with the heart and Sumeru being inspired by Middle Eastern, Northern African, Indian cultures. I thought that. I mean, I know most people give him Japanese names because he's from Inazuma, but I thought that personally, this is kind of a ramble, but I thought that it fits better for his character to start anew with more Sumeru aligned name, and I gave him a name of something that names a heart, an artificial heart of sorts for, and yeah, that was basically my reasoning. It's Sabik is in one of the stars of the Ophiuchus constellation. That's it. That's all you actually need to know if you needed to know at all. Anyways,
you know who he is?
I've heard that he's a researcher from a different country who nominally belongs to Bahumana.
Okay.
Word is that he's written a lot of political analyses.
Huh.
His manner of speech hasn't made him popular amongst most other Vahumana researchers, but his comings and goings are quite irregular, so he doesn't interact with others much.
Aside from his more controversial aspects, his perspectives are considered
So-
quite incisive.
So basically, he's he's a perfect choice for Bahumana. I mean, I guess he's kind of like a collaborative researcher that's. His expertise. I mean, he's like 500 years old at least, so of course he would have great insights on, and he's been a Fatui, so he probably has knowledge about politics and intrigues. So that's makes sense. I was going to say something. Yes. So he's not very popular. So he's quite difficult to find. Not popular because of the manner of speaking. Controversial. Yeah. This calls for I'll hate them handshake emoji. Skara on on the great between quote unquote great first impression. Not popular amongst the colleagues, but also really efficient, I guess. Oh yeah, I mean, I do hope that they have interaction in this event. That would be interesting to like the face-off of two big antisocial. I was going to say antisocial jerks, but they're not really jerks. They're complicated. let's leave it at they're complicated. Anyway, I was checking something. Okay, let's go.
Vahumana has seen a dearth of new talent lately, and some of its existing ones are not currently at the Akademiya, so I suspect he might have been their only option.
F.
It's just kind of weird. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who'd participate in competitions like this one.
No, true, but I mean, good for him, he's making friends and taking place in Sports Week. Oh god, poor Scara.
Now that we have our 6 contestants, the championship will soon begin. Who will triumph this time around? Hold on to your hats, because we're all on this ride together.
Yay!
Huh. We really do know a lot of the contestants. Oh, right. We're guest commentators, aren't we? So figuring out everyone's reasons for participating is in our job description. Let's go ask them when we go say hi. Especially him. Paimon still thinks it's weird that he's here.
Okay. The representatives, okay. Can I read the minds of all of them? Let's check.
Hey,
Oh, I can. Yeah, I can.
I must get that limited edition card.
Of course! What would be Sino thinking? Anyways, I'm going to. I think it's better that I speak with them first, then ask. Hey, Nari, Sino, how you doing?
We meet again, you two.
Hey.
Hey, Tainari. We came here to check out this extravaganza event, and then they invited us to be guest commentators.
Is that so? I heard that there would be guest commentators recording the proceedings with cameras, but I didn't expect they'd be you two.
It's a pleasant surprise that you're visiting Sumeru again while I'm still on leave. When everything comes together perfectly like this,
God, no.
I call it the
Sino,
biryani
please.
factor. Because it's always rice to meet stew again.
Sino! No! Can I unalive him? The worst part is that it's actually funny. So I don't know who's worse, if I am or he is. I mean, now I'm expecting Tainari's bombastic side eye right now. Yeah, well, not side eye, facepalm. Worked.
So, Tainari, you're representing Amurta, and Sino is representing Spontamod. But haven't you both already graduated? Can alumni also take part in the competition?
I had wondered the same thing. When I was told the news, I was actually more shocked than you are now. I later found out that anyone who has been a part of a particular darshan has the right to participate. Graduation status has no effect.
So that's a rule, huh?
There are some restrictions, though. For example, sages cannot participate. Any given person can only participate in one instance of the championship, and so on.
That's right. Also, there are 2 methods by which the darshan representatives are chosen. One is self-nomination, and the other is to be recommended by over half of one's darshan.
You must have been the case of the latter, Tainari.
Yeah, tracks.
I heard that quite a few of your juniors petitioned for your candidacy.
Sometimes I wish I could clap a few of them over the head and tell them to spend that time on studying instead.
Mood. And you refuse.
Well, you can, but after some consideration, I realized this could be a good opportunity for me. Next month, we're having a public lecture on ecology at Gandharvaville. If I participate in this event, I might be able to utilize its popularity to promote the lecture.
Oh, I see.
I'm not that concerned about becoming the champion, unlike someone here.
So you volunteered yourself. I know the reason now, but
Yes.
anyways.
I'm using the last of my leave for this. When I heard that a limited edition Genius Invocation TCG card was one of the prizes,
dear
I
Lord,
signed
what
myself
the
up.
lengths this man will
This
go
year's
for
card is a rare one
the
indeed.
card.
It would be a shame if I missed out on it.
Wait, is it some kind of super powerful
Paimon.
No, it's a very common one. But it has a holographic layer.
Well,
so what's the point?
It's very cool.
Paimon meant apart from being very cool.
That is reason enough. I shall do my all to emerge victorious and add it to my deck.
As someone who doesn't play cards much, I can't quite relate. But it isn't surprising that everyone has their own reasons for taking part in the tournament.
Fair enough. Alright, let's go find someone else to question.
Sino never change.
Everyone hold hands.
It doesn't seem that Sumeru City has changed too much.
Oh yeah, well because Tainari spends most of his time in Akademiya Forest. That he doesn't really come too much to the city. Okay. So we have Cabez, Farzan, and Leila here. Hello. I'm going to jump scare you. I'm curious, who is actually taller? Yeah, he can see taller, but they're both fairly tall. Okay, Leila, Farzan, and Renee. Leila.
Kaveh!
Hey!
Layla!
Huh? Oh, it's you. Why are you here?
Well,
We're here as specially invited guest commentators. Our job is to record what happens during the competition.
Is that so? In that case, I'll have to trouble you to catch the moment of my triumph on camera.
Farzan.
Remember to shoot from behind at a lower angle. You know, to capture a seniors class.
Don't get ahead of yourself now. Victory will obviously be mine.
You're far too young to even consider challenging me. Kasharwar or Ratawahist. Children as far as I'm concerned.
Actually, I was going to ask,
Oh no, Leila.
how do you know me, Madam Farzan?
Huh? You don't remember? I sometimes see you in the library at night. You even waved at me.
She was sleepwalking.
What? I don't remember doing that at all.
Huh. How strange. However, this is not the time for curiosity. I am Farozan, a household name in Haravatat. You are Layla from Ratawahist, I presume?
Yes.
Good. Then we are officially introduced. See?
Fair.
Simple as that.
Fair enough.
I like respectful ones, by the way. Would you like to join my
Oh,
research
God.
group?
Farzan.
Madam Faruzan, I'm quite sure this counts as poaching. Let's dial things down.
I know, but it's been tough getting people these days. And research funding has been hard to secure. But once I win this tournament, it'll be a different story.
Ah.
So you're just here to increase the amount of funding you're getting?
Makes sense. I mean, I've done her. I played her
Well, not just
hangout.
that. What? Are you curious about my reasons for participating in this event?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's to be expected. You are our guest commentators, after all. There's been an influx of newly enrolled students, and they'll be paying close attention to this competition. If I do win, I'm certain that there will be no lack of students knocking upon my door. Moreover, research resources will be made available to the victor, so that will nix my funding issues. Therefore, my two juniors, I do apologize, but I fully intend to emerge triumphant.
So this was something. When I play Farzan's hangout, there's also. I mean, that's not just her own problem within her habitat. That her research actually fits more in Sharwar than in her habitat, and and the students of Harabata really don't. They find Faruzan's interest like she's like 100 years old, and she spent all the time trapped in one of King Desert's ruins. So it's not just that, but there's also that I think it was mentioned somewhere that Harabatat is uh, the least popular darshan because the darshan specialty, this is semiotics and linguistics, is not that popular. It's seen as a bit of a boring matter of subject of study. So it's I think for Faruzan it's even worse that her teachings not only that her darshan is not just like the least popular one with the least number the fewest number of students, but but also that the students that are in Harabata are not interested in her courses, and that's like, yeah, you cannot get why Faruzan is so eager about to poach, as Kabe put it, other students into her, well, not just Harabata but her mentorship. And
I'll do my best as well. At least I don't plan to lose too badly. So, why are you here, Layla? I don't know why, but a lot of people recommended me. I didn't sign up myself. I just woke up to find my name on the announcement board.
F. Big F.
That sounds like what happened to Zainari. Him too? Oh, I'm really nervous. I've been so worried about disappointing everyone that I've been losing sleep.
Stress not, young one. We must all experience failure to grow and mature.
But Madame Faruzan, I don't want to fail.
Respectable.
Seriously? Everyone has such nice reasons for joining.
Yeah, and what's your story, Kabe? Are you that? I don't really want to go into into what I spoil myself of Kabe's story, but if they want to give me a more like shallow reason, like, I mean, they said that the funding stuff, I mean, the winner of the championship wins a significant amount of Mora. And we know Kabe is broke as hell, so I mean, he may think that it's a selfish reason, but I would understand if you would join a competition to cover your debts, you know. So don't be harsh on yourself, Kabe. You're doing well. Okay, what's your story, Kabe?
Must I say?
I would be appreciated.
Yes, you do. We gotta record it.
Well, you know, right? I want to
yeah,
buy
makes sense.
some property.
Oh, that's right.
What? What about him? This has nothing to do with him.
Yeah! True! Paimon, your mouth! Yeah, so I get why they said that, yeah, but you should play a Hidden Story quest before this quest, because Kabe did basically beg the Traveler and Paimon, not to say that he was roommating with Alhaitham because he's scared to death of the word getting out, and and Paimon just kind of F that Paimon misremember things. It's fine. Don't panic, Kabe.
Oh!
Yeah.
Sorry, Paimon had no idea what she was talking about. So, you want to use the grand prize to buy a place, right?
Makes sense.
Correct. Also, my father took part in the Inter-Darshan Championship when I was young, but he didn't win.
Yeah.
Once I do, the right to wear that diadem will be mine. In a way, I'll be helping my father fulfill a
I
dream
know
of
where
his.
the story goes, but
That's not a bad reason at all. You have ambition, youngster.
he does. Yeah.
Although your chances with me here aren't great, I believe your father would be most proud if the diadem of knowledge were
Savage.
bestowed upon you.
That's
Not that he'll have the chance to celebrate.
Aw.
My father passed away many years ago. They say he ran into quicksand while traveling in the desert.
For you to have experienced such a thing, that must have been tough for
Faruzan
you.
can relate in a sense.
It's all in the past now, and life goes on, doesn't it? Let's change topics. I don't want to bring the mood down.
Pat. Don't be sad,
right.
Gabby.
Earlier, you said that you want to use the prize Mora to purchase a home. Where do you live now? Do you live alone?
No, please don't go that. Don't go there.
Well...
I also heard you mention I'll hate them just a moment ago. Isn't he also from Haravatat? Are you two hiding something from me?
No, of course not! Why would you think that?
Paimon's definitely not involved either. We're gonna go interview other contestants now. Bye!
Lumine's face. Like, oh Lord, I do love the trend. Well, good job, Paimon. Now it was supposed to be like we were supposed to be secret keepers, and now it's on the hands of Faruzan for people. Yeah, good job.
You know, I was just thinking, how did the two of you meet?
I was wrestling with a particularly tricky problem, and she happened to pass by while I was puzzling over it at the House of Dana. She then proceeded to provide some comments.
Provide some comments? I was bestowing instruction. In truth, I have no intention of solving Ksharowar's problems for them. But I decided that this youngster seemed to have a decent attitude, and so we had a good chat. But ultimately, I am a Haravatat scholar, so please come to me with questions about linguistics next time.
I mean, I think it's I don't know if it's mentioned elsewhere, but I think that it's the real beef between Darshans, I think it's between Haravatat and Bahumana. No, or I think. But I think they clash too with Ksharovar at times. I think Haravatat kind of clashes with pretty much everyone. But anyways,
I see everything. Do I really have what it takes to represent the Autolycus Darshan?
Layla is panicking. Like to be fair, everyone here is like a graduate, like Faruzan, Kabe, Saino, Nari. But Layla is just a student, trying to complete her thesis, and it's like, yeah.
Hey! I'll show them how fierce this competition can be.
Faruzan is full. I'm going to get my funding, and you'll have to pry from my dead cold hands. Really.
I see everything.
With that prize money, I'll be able to move out of Alhatham's place.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Makes sense. Because I guess it's a wonder why the house hasn't, blown up, hasn't exploded at this point. But yeah, okay. Hello, Sabik. Well, Scara.
So, what are you...
Just call me Hat Guy. That's the name I use in Vahumana.
What?
Sounds like a nickname, not a real name.
So I can't go by a simple, ordinary name?
I mean,
Fine, suit yourself. Alright then, Hat Guy. Why are you taking part in the Inter-Darshan Championship? We're specially invited guest commentators, so play nice and answer our questions.
wow. I was
It
really
could be Matra for all I care. So what if I don't answer you? What then?
What if we ask nicely?
I'll tell you this much. I have an agreement with someone not to reveal my motives.
Nah.
You're not plotting something in secret, are you?
Maybe.
Well, it's hard to say. Why don't you take a guess?
I guessed, right.
Paimon's had it with you.
Well,
Fine, be that way. Then we won't ask you why you're participating. Instead, why did you join Vahumana?
You two sure like to poke your noses where they don't belong. If I don't say anything, are you going to annoy me to death?
probably.
I heard that the Vahumana researcher named Akaba was researching the Tatarasuna incident, so I wrote a few essays
makes
to refute his points. Later, when I was bored, I wrote some commentary on societal issues in Inazuma. I didn't expect Vahumana to consider me as one of them. Someone even invited me to a lecture or whatever.
So basically you're suffering
From
from
start
success.
to finish, it was just the wishful thinking of idiots. A misunderstanding. There's your answer. Simple. But when Lesser Lord Kusanali heard about this, she went out of her way to get me registered in Vahumana. She used the name Hat Guy.
Of course he had. Of course he had to be Nahida. Oh god. So basically, your mother took you to officially inscribe you to school. Good. I approve. Points for you, Nahida. You're great. Okay, so that's Nahida that's doing. Paimon's. Sorry, I keep saying Paimon's name wrong. Sorry. Paimon's face is great. Like, what?
Enough chit-chat. You're better off wasting your time with the
I
other
already did.
contestants.
I said you.
Someone's about to get very unlucky. Wanna guess who?
Mm-hmm.
How is anyone supposed to relax with you around? We've got to stay alert and keep a close eye on him.
I don't really think.
Looks like Karina's got a moment now. Let's go chat with her.
I don't really think Skara. Or I mean, I could use my name for him, but I don't think Skara
is not enough to cultivate intelligence.
Yeah.
All those scholars in the Academia are prime
Sorry,
examples.
I was idling with you, Hitam. Let's see what you have to say.
Enjoy the Inter-Darshan Championship. This will be one to remember, I'm sure.
I think sometimes Skara likes to make himself scarier than he actually is. Like, I understand why, because it makes sense for someone with his story to kind of build walls around them as to drive people away. But I really doubt that he really has any sort of ill intentions against anyone. So he's probably being a troll and enjoying that. That's for sure.
Do you really think you can see through me?
Busted. Sorry, I had to try. Okay, so where's this lady Karina? There she is. Hello.
Ah, you must be the guest commentators Vikas invited.
I am
I've
indeed.
heard about you.
Well, we are indeed.
I saw you two having quite the lively conversation, so I thought it would be best to wait. Are you two free right now?
We were actually looking for you, too.
Excellent. Then please allow me to explain your job responsibilities in
I'm
detail.
listening.
First, please take these two things. The first item is a custom camera from the Akademiya. Please use it to record the competition as it unfolds.
Okay.
The second is an event-specific locator that will flag all participants' locations. It will also sound when one of them completes an objective.
Oh, okay.
Wow! What a convenient little thing!
Aside from you two, there are 2 other commentators. However, they will remain by the commentators area and will not be following
Nilu!
in real time. Speaking of which,
Yeah, I
you probably
kind of
know
suspected
them.
that.
Alhaitham and Nilu.
That's really interesting.
Oh, it's them! We have to go over and say hi later.
Well, don't let me keep you, unless you have any questions for me.
Oh, yeah, for the vision, I guess. So, yeah, I kind of guess Nilu because she appeared on some screenshots from this from the band. And I was wondering what Nilu's role in all of this was. And I wonder if she had any sort of, like, art stuff going around. You know? Alhaitham we kind of already knew from the trailer. Which I bet he's just going to take the chance to roast Cavill left and right because he was likely forced into this role. I kind of imagine that's what happened because I can really imagine Alhaitham going through the sports commentator arc without being shoved into it. But Nilu is interesting. I wonder because it's also interesting because it's like like someone. A big, it describes basically a file clerk, so it's not a big name per se, but let's consider Alhaitham a big name within the Akademiya. Even though we know that he's relatively unknown, but he has been acting Grand Sage after all. And Nilu is a street dancer, so that was pretty much the outcast of an outcast in the old Sumerian system in society. So it's quite interesting to have these 2 sides of Sumeru as commentators. Like, I mean, this is all the Akademiya and the desert folk. I mean, they've mentioned that there's going to be desert folk involved, so I'm assuming that maybe Candace, since she's featured in the banners, is going to make an appearance. But surely Dia. But this is more about the Akademiya, and that's interesting as to put Alhaitham and Nilu as in like probably the one who has been the biggest representative of the Akademiya. Like we know that he mentioned that he was resigning by the end of his story quest. So I assume that the resignation in the end came to place, and he wasn't stuck in acting limbo like Poojan. and Nilu is like the other side of the spectrum, like pure artistic. Like in that sense, it makes sense. It's interesting because it's like Alhaitham comes from entirely realm of rationality, and Nilu comes from entirely the arts. Like when we make this distinction with Alhaitham and Cave's an artist, but he's also a researcher, so he's also a scholar. So there's, I mean, it's basically the same thing, but without the beef that comes with scholarly debates and this sort of competitivity. Well, they have the familiarity too, and their friendship fallout. So that I guess that adds to the rivalry and stuff, which Alhaitham doesn't have with Nilu. So because Nilu is not a researcher in the first place, so there's no reason for engaging philosophical debates or clashes. I don't know. In my head, I think it makes better sense than me trying to explain. But anyways, I'm curious. So yeah, I've been saying with my own.
Why do you ask?
I saw someone like that on stage earlier. Well, I didn't see him. It was more like an illusion. But you do you, I mean.
Really? I didn't see any such person. Could I ask when you saw him?
This before the Akademiya representatives went on stage.
Strange. I was on stage the entire time, and I didn't see anyone come up.
You're having visions again, you mean?
Paimon didn't see anyone either.
Perhaps you're mistaken. However, if you have any leads on that matter, you can talk to me at any time.
Okay. Oh,
Hey, Traveler.
yeah.
Paimon.
Yay, Candace!
Dia! Candace! You two are here as well!
Ah, so they're two friends of yours. In that case, I'll take my leave. May you all have a wonderful time during the extravaganza.
It's curious to see Candace out of our village.
The Akademiya sent us both invitations, so Dia suggested that we
Makes
come
sense.
together. The villagers were also encouraging me to travel outside the village. I
Oh,
couldn't
so
find it
yeah,
in
so
myself
that's
to
why
turn them down.
you're out of the village. You
We're
have
here now,
permission.
so no point dwelling on that. Even though this extravaganza isn't a holiday or anything, it's still a big deal here in Sumeru. Merchants from all over will set up shop. There'll be tons of stuff to eat, use, and wear, more than you can count. I'm already set on helping you buy 2 new outfits. I mean,
Candace
wears the
skin.
same thing at work and home anyway.
I'm looking forward to it. Just being able to relax and wander the streets freely has already made my day.
So, Traveler, Paimon, you two want to come with?
We'd love to, but we've got work to do right now.
Aw, that's a shame. Let's hang out together when you're free then.
Sure.
Sure!
Well,
In that case,
Paimon said.
Candace and I'll head out first. Good clothing and fabrics are very much in demand. If you snooze, you lose. Oh, right. We should also get some accessories.
The girl's going out
No need to
shopping.
rush. I think we'll have a better time if we take things slow. See you two later. Feel free to come find us whenever you have the time.
Paimon didn't think that Candace and Dia would come. Hanging out with them sounds like a great time. Still, looks like the competition's starting soon. Let's go over to where Alhaitham is and see what's going on.
Okay. I'm going to go with Nahida just so to... I mean, I could go with Chun-Li, I guess. So we got the locator. Okay. Hey.
I will now announce the rules for the first round of the competition. Please listen carefully. During the opening ceremony, Akademiya staff released several cages of butterflies, and many of them are now fluttering within Sumeru City. Amongst these butterflies, 3 of them will be special swift flies. They have a different appearance and also fly a little faster. Your objective this round is to find a swift fly and bring it to me. 3 points will be awarded to the first participant to return, 2 to the second, and 1 point to the third. That is all for the first round. Should you require clarification on anything, please ask any of the other staff.
Alhaitham's all business all the time.
Yeah.
That said, how did he get to be a commentator? Paimon's kinda curious.
Finding 3 specific butterflies in a place as large as Sumeru City sounds rather
Lena.
improbable.
If these swift flies behave anything like regular butterflies...
I'm off. It will take some time to search every corner of Sumeru City.
Huh? You're going just like that?
A champion walks the road to victory.
Sign is so dramatic.
My dear Kasharawar Jr., I have a plan. How about some cooperation between you and me?
Cooperation?
Looks like everyone's got their own plans for this, Tuffy.
Irish son is like...
Okay,
Kaku.
Right? Let's wait and see everyone's reactions first. Huh? Wait a minute. Look, he seems to be observing the other contestants just like we are. We were right not to let our guard down.
Do you remember those things we made previously?
Huh? You mean...
It's time for them to shine.
It looks like Faruzan and Kaveh have some secret plan.
Oh, hello there. Madame Faruzan and I are discussing how...
Shh! Hush now! The walls have ears around here. We should keep it a secret for now. But you'll find out what we have in store soon enough.
Uh-huh. Now I'm curious.
Come now, let's go. Before the others act.
All right, there's no time to lose. We're off to make our preparations. See you later.
See you.
This is basically what we
Collie.
need. Do you think you'll have any difficulties?
I have most of the reagents with me, and I can buy the rest. Kale, you're here too! Kainari, you have a master plan ready?
My hypothesis is that the Swiftfly's morphological variations won't significantly affect their fundamental nature. So I'm planning on using this to lure them out. Of course, I could be wrong. Every mutation opens the door to new possibilities, especially when they are artificially introduced. Details will have to wait until after the post-experimental analysis. For now, Kale and I are going to buy some reagents for our experiment. All right, well, see you later.
Okay, see ya!
See you. That sounds interesting. As for the Wanderer... Layla.
Hey, Layla! You look a little worried.
Yeah, I have no idea what I should do. What color are these swift flies? Do they have special markings? How do they differ from ordinary butterflies? Oh, I can't even figure out these basic questions, and most of what I've learned in the past is completely useless here.
Aren't people who research the stars supposed to have some extraordinary abilities? Why not use astrology to solve it?
Oh, you're another contestant. That guy, was it?
Oh, God.
Is it that you can't use astrology during the day? Guess that skill's
yeah,
less useful than I
he's
thought.
familiar.
No, it's not like that. If it's daytime, all I need is an astrolabe.
He's familiar. I kind of vaguely remember the 1.1 event, the Unreconciled Stars event. He does know astrology. He has met Mona. So it makes sense that he would be like, hey, Layla is from the Rutahu's Darshan, and she should know about astrology. Why didn't you use astrology to get clues? That makes sense. Yeah, I like when they tie events like and story stuff like this. It's a shame that that once the event is missed, you can't do it again. But fortunately, people record them. So yeah, that's I really like when everything ties together. Anyway.
So, why don't you do that then?
Mona Magistus said that those who constantly use astrology to obtain things that shouldn't be theirs will eventually lose the blessing from the stars.
Sometimes I should pat myself in the back.
It's just something I read in an academic publication. I really love to read Mona's essays.
You're overthinking it. Power is just a tool. It just seems to me that you don't have the resolve to win this. Well, suit yourself. Wallow in your immature ideals if you like.
Savage.
Hey! Seriously? Just walking off after saying a bunch of mean stuff like that?
Yeah, it's...
Did I say something wrong just now?
It's just different perspectives, that's all. That's something I want to touch upon after this part of the events is done, because, yeah, but I will go into this later.
Thank you so much. I've made up my mind not to use astrology for this. I think I'll just try my luck in the city. To be honest, I've always been pretty good at observation, and if I'm fortunate, I might be able to find that
or you could
special
fall asleep
butterfly
and become
species.
super...
Lord Sino seems to have found a swiftfly. Come on, let's go check it out.
Sino, wow.
Really? Where?
The butterfly flew up high, and he's chasing it now.
Oh, no time to lose. Let's go see.
As expected of Sino. Actually, shouldn't you two go have a look as well? The moment when he catches the butterfly will likely be one worth recording after all. I'll head into the city shortly to start my own search. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Alright, in that case, let's go see Sino first, and then we can check on what everyone else is up to.
I'm going to try my luck in the city, too.
So you're not going to let me talk to Ham and Nilu. Oh, LMT. Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you. I wanted to.
I didn't expect that you would be invited as well.
Neither did we. By the way,
yeah.
Did you get picked, Alhaitham?
Spill the beans.
There were several factors, but primarily the recommendation of the sages. I suppose they assumed that I'd have the free time for this job after resigning as acting Grand Sage. That said, they'd probably claim that my calm demeanor would help maintain fairness in the competition.
Like, I mean, Alhaitham just can't catch a break. Like, he resigned from he is first recommended as a sage. He says no. Then he's basically forced into acting Grand Sage. He resigns. Then the sages are like, okay, we are accepting that, but you're going to be sports commentator on Akademiya's extravaganza, and I think the Alhaitham at this point is like, can you just please leave me alone? That's just yeah, but I guess he was kind of a given that he was like, that's not really answering the question though. That like you could have said no, I guess, but anyway.
Sounds like you've got a lot on your plate.
Oh yeah.
Not really. The job itself is quite simple and effortless.
Fair. What about you, Nilu?
This is my first time commentating for such a competition. I'm feeling kinda nervous.
Nilu, how did you get picked to be a guest commentator?
The staff said that spectators would be less inclined to come if the contestants and commentators were all from the Akademiya. I don't quite understand it, but I'm happy that we're able to all meet again.
I mean, fair. Okay, let's see.
Hey! Face the camera. Smile. Speak in a friendly and clear manner.
Oh, Nilu!
To pay attention to, right?
Don't panic, you'll be fine. How about you, Alhaitham?
I see everything.
I wonder who will emerge as the champion this time.
Okay, fair. Okay, so we have to go search for Sino. Okay. Oh, there's Layla here. Oh, so we can find basically everyone else. I'm curious as to where we can find. So I guess we'll get, Cabin Ferrusan are here. Tainari is here. I'm going to check on Tainari. I want to talk to everyone. Oh, hey, he's with Coley, of course. Hey, Coley.
Good. We've got all our ingredients. Next, could I trouble you to help me mix them together?
Of course, Master.
Okay. Can I? Yeah. Oh, okay. Head empty. No thoughts. How about you, Tainari?
Everyone hold hands.
No, nothing. Sad. Okay, so Sabik here. Sorry, Skara. I mean, I could use his name, but I mean my name, but just for here you are.
Let me find a good place to.
Is he planning to go fly? I mean, he could if he wants to chase butterflies. He has a big advantage. He can fly. So Kevin and Farusan are over here, I think. Oh, here they are.
Are you sure it's alright to release so many?
Firestone, what the hell are you playing?
It'll be fine.
Can I?
I see everything.
No. So. Okay, so I have to go check Sino. Okay. Oh. Up there. Okay, fine. Sino. Mate, you've gone a bit. Okay, let's see. Mate! Right into the branch. Okay, fine. You. I think I can do this. Yeah. I was. No! Please don't
We
fall.
found you, Sino! Oh, wait. Is that a swiftfly?
Stay put. Don't move.
Oh.
He caught it! Huh? Sino, what's wrong?
This isn't what I'm looking for. It's a...
Finally! I made it. I heard that you caught a swiftfly, Sino. Mind letting me see what it looks like? Hold on. Isn't this the mechanical bait that I released earlier? Why would you catch that instead of a swiftfly?
Wait a minute. If we consider this from a different angle, isn't it a good thing that the bait you made was convincing enough to fool even Sino?
Bait! That's great! Farson! Also, I'm sorry, but I was kind of... I lost it at poor Kabe, evidently wheezing, trying to... after climbing the trees. Man's not made for physical exercise, and I can relate hard to that. You release bait.
That's right. During a previous interior design project, I felt that the artificial flowers on a wall were a little bland, so I decided on placing a few moving mechanical butterflies to add some pizzazz. In order to make them both small and nimble, I consulted with Madame Faruzan. Not long ago, the two of us took all those mechanical butterflies and released them into the city.
Why would you do that?
Well...
Need you even ask? Young people these days really do need to get out more. Have you never played that game where you place strips of paper on a bamboo pole and wave it across a field of flowers to attract a whole kaleidoscope of butterflies?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't. Wait, so you're trying to...
That's right. The butterflies within the city will mistake our mechanical bait for one of their own and follow them around. As long as we keep releasing and retrieving our bait, we can capture all the butterflies within the city. What comes afterward is just a matter of separating the swift flies from the others.
Huh. Guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah, everything goes, I guess.
Do not underestimate the wisdom of your elders. I had already thought of this method the moment the round's rules were announced. Of course, we also owe much to this fine junior of mine here for making such lifelike butterflies. It seems that Kasharawar has not quite declined as far as I had thought in recent years. Their teaching skills at least seem to be intact.
Well, I just stuck to what I do best. The idea was yours.
No need to be so polite. Once we capture all these butterflies, we shall split the points for this round. Look, one of them is returning now. Huh? Wait a moment. Are my eyes deceiving me? Why don't I see any butterflies behind it?
That's because there are none. Seems like your plan has hit a snag.
Looks like the match continues. I'll be looking elsewhere.
Huh. Strange. Has something else diverted their attention? Come, let's search in the direction the bait returned from.
We'll go have a look too.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I guess I can't read their minds. This is where Where Nari and Cody were right, I think. Oh, yeah. So they're basically, yeah. They're basically, yeah.
Frozen? Kaveh, why did you two stop?
Ah. So it was the Morta boy.
Kainari!
Fascinating, isn't it? The butterflies have all congregated here due to a special incense that I used. I infused it with 3 different types of honey, and the butterflies, following the fragrance, have gathered around me.
Clever.
Butterflies must have really sharp noses then. Wait, do they even have noses? I've never seen one.
They do not, in fact, and their vision isn't stellar either. However, they can use their antennae to distinguish between scents, and their olfactory senses are generally quite advanced, allowing them to detect floral fragrances from great distances.
Oh, so that's how it is. I had a pet butterfly once. I picked wildflowers and placed them in its box, but it wouldn't eat any.
That's normal. Raising butterflies isn't difficult, but there are many things you should take note of. Appropriate temperature, sufficient air, and a spacious environment are examples of such considerations. You must also ensure that the food you've chosen suits their palate. Most importantly, you must curb your curiosity and avoid disturbing them while they rest. Otherwise, they may become stressed.
Sorry. I liked to poke at its wings at the time.
Humans tend to rear many creatures due to their aesthetic value, but not all are suited to such a process. Caring for living beings is hard work. Impulse alone is insufficient. Some prerequisite knowledge is always required.
Fair.
You sure do know a lot.
I have a question too. I bought a scarab not long ago, and it hasn't seemed very active. Can you help me figure out why?
I'd like to keep a duskbird as a pet. What are some key points I should consider?
Is it possible to keep a Whistling tiger as a pet?
Well, this is escalating a bit quickly.
All right, it seems like you all have a great deal of questions. But I am in the middle of the Inter-Darshan Championship at the moment, so I'm afraid I can't answer them all now. Let me propose an alternative. Next month, there will be a biology lecture at Kindarville, and I will be sharing some interesting insights on living organisms there. If you're interested, you can attend that lecture, and if you should have any questions, just prepare them ahead of time. I'll answer questions after I finish speaking.
All right, I'll be there.
Of course, please try to ask more rational questions. For example, whether you can raise a Rishpalin tiger as a pet or not is mainly dependent on whether you can overcome one in a fight.
Looks like Kainari's science lecture will draw quite a crowd.
Huh? Oh. Was I listening in for that long? Seems Kale's master does live up to his title as a teacher.
Madame Faruzan, I've had a look around. Nearly all the butterflies in this area have been attracted by the incense. However, we can cast our bait further away to avoid this area.
All right, then let's get moving. We shan't let all the butterflies get away from us if we can help it.
Seems like the competition's really heating up. Let's go see how the other contestants are doing.
Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. So, Sinos here. That's for Sun Garden, but I don't know if... Yeah, yes. So, we've got Leela. Oh. Sorry. Leela, Cabin, and Farson are here. This is Sainari. I wonder if I can read Nari's mind.
Everyone hold hands!
Oh, no. I can't. Can I speak with Nari?
The scent is starting to fade. Seems the wind is stronger than I thought. The incense isn't going to last long.
Sad. But skill issue. No, oh, okay, I can't read minds. So, sign us up at Rasan Garden, but it doesn't seem like he has anything new to say. I could go check on Cabin Farson. And then the Wanderer. Okay.
Please lead the Swiftflies back here. I'm really counting on you.
Okay.
Let's wait here. Seems my age is catching up with me.
Of course. Let's see. Where's the Wanderer? Hat guy, where are you? Oh, I see you there. What are you even doing? Oh.
What brings you two here?
Huh? You're here having coffee? Aren't you supposed to be a contestant?
Is there really any need for me to take part while everyone's running around like it's some sort of carnival? Don't worry. I'll get involved once things actually get serious.
I mean, fair, I guess.
I see everything.
Nah, no, I can't. It's just that I don't really want to. I don't really want to miss anything from this event, or at least the least possible things. So I'm going to search for Layla. Layla, where are you? Oh, she's down? Where? Oh, there she is.
Layla, how are things going on your end?
I've been searching for quite a while now, but I haven't seen any sign of the Swiftflies yet. Instead, I ended up catching a few mechanical devices that looked very similar to butterflies. I wonder where they came from.
I know.
Looks like Baruzan and Kave's devices are now.
I'll keep up the search. That said, I've noticed that a number of butterflies in the city has already decreased a lot compared to when the event started. Probably because the other contestants are coming up with their own ways to catch butterflies. Alright, I'll do my best too. Huh?
What's this?
Oh. Could it be a Swiftfly?
Oh, what a coincidence. I guess I just need to catch it now, right? Oh, please wait. Aw, there it goes.
I mean, I don't think it's going to...
It's so fast! Paimon thought all Hatham said they were only a little faster!
Yeah, well...
No, come back!
Come on, Traveler, let's go too!
Yeah, I will go. I saw a couple party stars.
Going off. Looks like someone's already caught themselves a Swiftfly.
Oh, Layla.
The locator's going off again. So, someone else finished too? That would mean that the one Layla's chasing is the last Swiftfly.
Oh, it just occurred to me that we should also get you a makeup box.
No, it's fine. I don't think I'll end up using it.
Maybe you won't, but it doesn't hurt to have one, right? Come on, just trust me on this one. Huh? Who are you, and what do you want?
Please, don't move.
Oh,
don't move? Who sent you?
Dia.
Don't worry, I can handle this. Now, tell me, what do you want?
Oh. Layla.
I believe she's looking for this. Here, take it.
A butterfly? Was it on my head?
Oh, you're...
It's been a while, Layla.
Oh, they know each other.
A friend of yours? Oh, so she must be the one you were telling me about.
Huh? You two know each other? Oh yeah, it has been some time. The first time I ever woke up after sleepwalking, I somehow found myself in our village. Candace was the one who took care of me then.
That's right. She didn't look well, so I gave her something to eat. She said a lot of complicated things about astrology, the night sky, the stars. Not sure I understood it, but it sounded pretty enchanting. Right. Do you still want this butterfly? It seems like you were chasing it all the way here. It's of little use to me, but if you don't want it, I can't release it.
Just let her have it. It's no big deal.
The Swiftfly was flying so fast, but you were able to catch it like it was nothing, Candace.
Oh, it didn't seem that quick, really. I was actually worried that I would injure it. But I'm glad that didn't happen.
Anyway, sorry about the butterfly thing. With the way you suddenly came running over like that, I thought you were hired to take us out or something. Huh. On second thought, I guess I've never seen an assassin that looks tired with dark bags around their eyes. Oh, you must be taking part in the championship. Take it from me. Don't let it stop you from getting some rest.
I'll do what I can. Thank you.
We'll be on our way then. See you later.
Alrighty, let's bring the Swiftfly back together with Layla.
Good for you, Layla. So basically, I wonder. Anyway. Okay. Oh. Well.
It seems we have a third contestant who has returned with a Swiftfly. With that, the first round has come to an end. I anticipate that all of you will keep up the effort for the second round. Dismissed.
Your statement sounded so... How do I put it? Decisive?
Well, you could certainly stand to try being more decisive, Nilu. It would help you live more freely.
Hang on a second. Who were the first two contestants with Swiftflies?
Tainari was first, and as for the second, it's being discussed right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, Alhaitham, I think I've come up with a good idea. Second place gets 2 points, right? Can't Madame Faruzan and I split the points between us?
Quite the imagination you have there. I've read the championship handbook from cover to cover, and I never saw any rule which permits that.
Then we can just add a rule.
Do you really think I'd do that?
No.
Come on, you're not going to stand in the way of my victory, are you?
Well, you're free to send the organizing committee an application outlining your naive proposal. They'll get back to you within 3 working days.
3 working days? It'll be too late by then.
Unfortunately for you, even dreaming is gonna cost you.
Paimon gets it now. Kaveh and Faruzan found the second Swiftfly together, but the rules say that only one person can get the points.
Oh well, the rules are the rules. Since you call me madam and politely ask for my help, I shall give you this.
Fair.
So I'll put the points under Kave's name then?
No. If I take these points, won't that only detract from your contributions, Madame Faruzan? You might be alright with that, but I cannot do it. Not in good conscience.
It's meant to be a universe.
I don't have any problem with it. There are 2 more rounds after all. Losing one isn't a major setback. But if you insist, I have another method. We can draw lots to see who will receive the points.
Lots, huh?
What? Is there something wrong with that idea?
No. Well, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. I'll get the paper needed for the lots. Give me a moment.
Oh, seriously?
Pat.
I'm sorry, but it appears that luck was on my side this time.
No, you do deserve it. I'm just lamenting my bad luck.
Aw, Bobby, don't say that.
Perhaps that's why my life is rife with troubles.
Indeed. It's rare to see anyone with such terrible luck be so willing to decide victory by the odds.
What would you know about that? I just...
We can save bickering for later. Record the points under Farazan, and that'll finally bring the first round to a close. The second round will be held in the desert. We'll be moving our commentator stand over to Aru Village. Let's meet up in Aru Village once everything is ready. I'll announce the details of the second round then. Till then, you have some free time. I'm off the clock at this point, so
Yeah,
it's
see
farewell
ya.
for now.
Wait, I'll hate them! You...
Don't be upset, Kaveh. Sighing can carry away your good luck, you know.
Oh, so that's how it works. In that case, I'll take in some deep breaths. Maybe that'll help me make up for all the luck I've lost. It's really no big deal. 2 points aren't enough to decide victory or defeat just yet. I'll win the next round, you'll see.
Looks like you've managed to pick yourself back up, young man. Good. I must warn you, though, that I'm quite familiar with the
That's
desert.
one way to put it.
You'll have to try your best if you don't want to lose.
I'm no stranger to the desert either. I'll be fine. All right then, that's enough chit-chat for now. I'm going to check the area out.
So the current standings are Tainari in first place, Faruzan in second, and Layla in third. Guess we should also take a nice break before the next round starts. But where should we go first?
Why, you two look a little lost. If you're not sure where to start enjoying the Akademiya extravaganza, then may I suggest that you have a chat with our boss?
Your boss? Who's that? Do we know them?
Well, only the most
Oh,
famous
Dory.
merchant in all of Sumeru, Lord Sangamo Bay.
Oh, you mean Dory!
Precisely. Our boss sent me to inform you two that she'll be waiting for you at Sumeru
Okay.
City's
I was
North Gate.
kind of expecting Dory to be part of this, but fine. Okay, northern gate. Okay. Dory.
Oh, well, if it isn't the Traveler in Paimon.
Hey, Dory. Are you
Dory,
here to
are
scam?
you here to attend the Akademiya
yeah.
extravaganza too?
Of course! People are practically flocking to Sumeru City. You couldn't ask for a better opportunity to do business. This is one of the entrances into the city, and it's very close to the Wisdom Gala booths. There'll be an endless stream of customers. I can already hear the aura going clink, clink, clink as they fill my coin pouch. Well, is there anything you'd like to purchase? We've got everything you need and deals that can't be beat.
Well, do you have anything to eat?
Oh, of course.
Wait, we're celebrating the extravaganza and you're only thinking of eating... I mean, of course, we've got lots of things to eat. That said, I recommend that you also consider some of the great bargains we have going on. The Wisdom Gala is about to begin, and once it starts, each of the Darshans will prepare a small challenge for everyone. And just between us, I have some super booster supplements for sale. Eat just one to boost both your strength and dexterity for a short time, allowing you to overcome any challenge.
Drugs! Drugs!
No thanks, we'll pass. These little challenges are gonna be a cinch for the two of us. Just you watch. Anyway, Paimon just wants something to eat, please. If you don't have any food, then we'll just go somewhere else.
All right. Laura after all. Oh, what would you like to eat?
Well, Paimon's pretty hungry right now. Do you have any touching?
Let me see.
I'm actually hungry myself now, so... Oh.
This is a huge job, isn't it?
No.
If this works out, we'll be set.
Here you go.
Suspicious.
2 servings of touching. See? I told you there's nothing Lord Sangamabay can't procure.
Yay! Huh? What are you looking at, Traveler?
I thought someone just now being suspicious and stuff.
Oh? Who? Someone we know?
Was it someone suspicious? Have we attracted some unwanted attention?
Huh? What's happening, Dory? Is there something else going on?
I don't know who you saw just now, but I do have some hard-to-come-by information about the extravaganza. If you want to know more, we can talk business later.
I mean... fair. Okay, so... that's a really cool thing. I think I will do this on my own. I'm going to try and find...
Wait.
Oh. So there's this thing... sorry, okay, that's too hard. Great. Give me a moment. Okay, that's a bit. Okay, so that's... so I do have to talk to Dory. Okay, let's see. You just had to buy information from me. Paimon's a little curious about your exclusive information, but we need to hear the price first. If it's too expensive, then forget it. Well, of course. 1 million more. That's a lot. Never mind. 1 million more, I can buy lots and lots and... Why is it always the food? Wait a second, let me see, huh? Paimon's customer number for today, the real customer was... oh, okay. Paimon didn't know such luck exists. Well... wait, you're not bathing in spending, are you? Maybe the first sentence is right, but not the... Wow, that's actually... that's actually genius coming from Paimon. If you don't want it, fine, next. Wait, forget what Paimon said, we'll listen. Dory's exclusive scoop number 1. Do you remember the diamond of knowledge? Yes. Paimon remembers that only the champion was entitled to wear the diadem. It seemed very valuable. Exactly. The diamond that Sachin gave the Academia was a rather expensive antique. Yet this very diadem, after what it was donated to the Academia, was lost by them once before. Huh? Why didn't we hear about this? If everyone knew about this, would my information still be considered exclusive? I guess not. Of course, this information doesn't come from nowhere. I got witnesses too. There's a young fellow named Kashmir from the suburbs. If you're interested in delving further, you could ask him. Okay. The password is that incident from 20 years ago. Huh. That incident from 20 years ago. Okay. That's interesting. So, that one. So that one is... okay, there. I'm interested on that, on this stuff about the diadem, so yeah. I'm going to do that. And later I will comment on the stuff I said I was going to comment. Who are you guys? Is there something you need? That incident from 20 years ago. I guess I shouldn't have told anyone. Last time I had too much to drink and blubber a little too much, and now people are seeking me out. Since you're curious, I guess I'll tell you. I was just 6 years old 20 years ago. I can't remember clearly what happened at the time, but recently I read the diary that kept when I was a child and vaguely recalled the situation back then. The International Championship was also held that year. There were 3 rounds, the last of which was outside the city. I begged my mom to take me out of town to see it, but when she refused, I snuck out. And then I ended up getting lost outside the city. In the middle of nowhere, there was no one around. I grew up more and more frightened and began to cry. That's when I saw some strange creatures. I can't remember what they looked like. I don't remember how as a child I stopped crying at the sight of them. Strange creatures. Oh yeah, the Aranara. They must be the Aranara. They took me to the competition. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, it was too late. It was already over. Sorry. Sorry. It's when I was disheartened, I suddenly saw one of those strange creatures slowly dragging a crown along. It was a beautiful crown shining in the moonlight, and I couldn't help but follow it. I saw the little fellow hide the crown in a hollow tree before disappearing. I wanted to touch that crown, but the moment I could hear the distant cries of my mother. Turns out she figured out I was lost and got her neighbors to go looking for me. I never got to touch it. It wasn't until I was older, when I saw the Diamond of Knowledge at the International Championship, that I realized it was the same thing. Alright, do you remember where the diamond ended up? It's probably in the Avilla Forest, but I've been back a few times and I haven't found anything. No one would believe me even if I told them. Alas, even I can't remember it clearly. Perhaps it was a dream I had when I was a child. Well, should we go look for it, Lumine? Maybe. Okay, that sounds really interesting. Okay. I actually plan to leave it at the end of the event, but this is actually... I want to know more about that. Oh, that crown. And I will probably do the events on my own and burn through the resin on my own as well. So yeah, that's... I don't really want to make these videos too long. I'm almost at 2 hours, and I thought it would be. Okay. There's a hole in the tree. It seems completely empty, and there's nothing in it. Wait, there's a note here. The good Nara taught Arakasiapa how to read. Arakasiapa must protect the good Nara. What's this supposed to mean? I haven't done the Aranara's quest line. But I think I know some bits and pieces of it. I know that the twin is somehow related to the Aranara questline, but I don't really want to put my foot in my mouth because I haven't done that quest. I only know a few bits and pieces, and I don't really want to throw hands with Hero Sheriff right now, so apologies. I wonder if I can find the rest of the gang around Sumeru. I wonder. So there's that. We should heal Nahida. I don't know. Okay. So it's interesting that they're actually opening the event. Genshin does it usually, as in, like starting somewhat steely event and then throwing massive lore. And this thing with the diadem seems like a big thing. I do know that. I'm not going to. What was I saying? Lost my place. I was saying something. Yeah. Damn it! I lost my place. I was saying that they open with the whole thing about the championship, but then they go into some very interesting stuff, and that's really. And of course, I think I was going to say something about. There's this thing. Of course, this event they're basically introducing. Basically, kind of. I guess Kappa's stellar moment. Without going into spoilers, his backstory has very close ties, as well as he explained, sort of, with the Introduction Championship, and a big part of his troubles, and let me find a place in which I can elaborate a bit, if you'll allow, and then I will close this session for the time being. Okay. So, so thing is, well, I can just run around, I guess. So thing is, I kind of imagine that this is going to be an important event. As for, usually the characters depicted in the art tend to be relevant, and the character introduced in the event tends to be relevant as well. This is not always the case, because, for example, with Windbloom, the character they introduced was Mika, and Mika barely had like a formal introduction to the Traveler, and that was that. And I guess, but I think I've heard something about maybe in a coming Mondstadt, in coming patches, that Mika is going to be part of it, and that would be fair, I guess, because Mika didn't really have much time on Windbloom. Windbloom was more about Collei and Sucrose, and yeah, basically Collei and Sucrose. There was Sino and Tainari. They're here in the art as well, but that's basically the art. Basically, is the Sumeru Bros. So it's. But it makes sense too, because in this context, Kappa's been introduced as a playable character in this event, so it makes sense that it's about it's not about him. We got a lot of other characters too, and that's cool because we get to see other characters that haven't had much of screen time, like Fireson, for example. I know we had her hangout, and and Layla. But, Layla had the fungi event, but it was cool to see her back in. Apologies for an event like this. It's cool to see the Wanderer, of course, because he's always an interesting character. And Nari and Sino, well, we already had them in Windbloom, so but it's always cool to see them again, and also with Nari's new voice actor, which is great too. And well, of course, I think this whole thing is going to tie with Kappa, and go more into his character, which is very interesting for me. And I also think I'm going to make a couple of comments on here, because I was laughing earlier at how Kappa was accusing Haytham of trying to stand in his way of victory, as he put it. Haytham didn't really stand in his way. It was basically, these are the rules, you suck it up and you follow them. And that's just how it is. But again, I don't really want to spoil, but from the characters' stories from Kabe, it can be inferred that Alhaitham basically acts as I don't really want to go into spoilers here, but he's basically acting as Kabe's therapist. And Alhaitham is a top-tier therapist. The thing is that his methodology is a bit on the side of, swim or die, and basically it's. I mean, if you know this and you go check basically their interactions make so much more sense when you understand that Alhaitham is basically he's basically. I mean, yeah, I said a therapist. He's basically that sort of person that I mean, it's a unorthodox therapy method, but it works because I mean I have to say my mother actually kind of does that with me. So it's basically for some people with a certain baggage, I guess. I mean, of course my stuff is different, and this is of course a game after all. But I can relate in that at some point. So how should I put this? Alhaitham's methodology basically amounts to. There's a saying, and I don't know if it has an English equivalent. Spanish, basically, loosely translated, a wise man does not give a hungry man, a starving man, a fish, but instead teaches him to fish. So basically, that's I mean, explaining that basically, when you're in a pinch, the wise or a good friend, a wise man or a good friend, instead of offering you the solution to the problem, it will teach you how to solve the problem. Because it makes sense, because not at every time you would have someone willing and ready to save you, and sometimes most of the time you have to save yourself, or pick yourself out of the pit you've fallen. So it quite aligns with Alhaitham's philosophy, and it may sound rough and rude on his part, but it's logical that basically his comments tend to basically Alhaitham's comments tend to, not just with Kabe, it's something that he does with everyone else. Alhaitham just states facts, and he doesn't do it with ill intention. Alhaitham states facts, and it's kind of a common saying that the truth hurts. So so when I say it's like swim or die, it's basically either you collapse, you crumble at the perspective or the truth because you can't bear with it, or you will pull through and become better, and you will learn from the experience, and you will and the next time something similar happens to you, you will know how to handle it, and then you can live your own life without depending on others or burdening others with your troubles. Of course, this is a very logical approach, and we're not taking into account people will help you simply because of goodwill. But I mean, this is, we're talking the rational, pragmatic approach, even if a bit cynical, if you want. But that's how Alhaitham's philosophy boils down to. So I'm basically explaining it how it is from a purely realistic standpoint, without taking into account. Alhaitham doesn't take into account the intervention of others. Basically, like he told Nilu, be more assertive, and then you will live your life the way you want. and and yeah, that's basically one of the things he says. He mentions that basically make your own decisions, and then you will be free to choose how to live without being burdened by anything. And I guess in Cabot's case is a big thing that holds Cabot down is his idealism, which is fine to be. It's fine to be idealistic, but I mean, I am an artist myself, so I understand from where idealism comes. But I am a really weird artist. I'm a very pragmatic one. This is why I really resonate with Al-Haytham. I understand why I'm usually kind of like that annoying voice of cold logic for others, I guess. But I've been told that because of this, I'm surprisingly a very good counselor. So I understand why Al-Haytham is such a good therapist counselor in his own way. Even though he's not going to say the things you want to hear or things to comfort you, he's going to say things that are going to make you, that probably are going to hurt your pride, and you're going to stand up in retaliation, if only to prove him wrong. That's basically how it works. It's kind of a reverse philosophy, and Al-Haytham likely doesn't care about all of this, because he's like, you think whatever you want of me, I don't care. I want results. And that's really, there's this side that people think that he's rude and he's basically an unfeeling jerk, and he does operate very rationality, but there's more about his character, more caring, and more genuine in that for me, as I understand Al-Haytham. In that there's more meaning in action than, and even though it at first hurts, but for someone who really cares. And Al-Haytham is not one. He is self-absorbed, but he really cares about those who are close to him. It's different. Like if we go to compare with comparing him with Cabot's ideology, with basically altruism, it reminds me of when Al-Haytham poses the question to the traveler, like, there's no shortage of suffering in Sumeru and the rest of Tibet, but what do you plan to do? Save every last person? And it's a very valid question. Like, you can't save everyone, and it's something that we have to deal with. So basically amounts to worry about yourself and those close to you, those that matter to you. And in this case, basically, we can see that it's not people kind of chalk into Al-Haytham being an egoist, being selfish. But I disagree. I wouldn't call Al-Haytham selfish. I would call him perhaps self-absorbed, because he doesn't like people, and he's not used to having much people around. He doesn't like it. But and he's very social. He's very awkward social. Socially awkward? Yeah, that's the proper word. Sorry. So it's understandable that self-absorbedness comes for loners like myself, and I'm a very much of a loner myself. And it's not something that we do out of ill intention or indifference. It's just we kind of live with ourselves, and we don't really have much contact with other people. But for those who are actually around us, and we care about them, friends, family, stuff, we really do care in our own way, even though we're not really good at expressing that. I mean, I'm including myself, because I suffer from I have the same thing. So it's not like we don't care. It's just that we seem more detached, and we don't express things like the usual way. We're not very affectionate. We're not very vocal about it, but we prefer to speak through actions rather than words. And I think this is the core of this is the core of Alhaitham's character, and what people think he is and what he's actually like. And I mean the event's going to be likely about Kabe, but I think it's going to be good to give more insights about Haytham's character as well. I mean, it's kind of a given. I really enjoy this part of the event because it has Kabe interacting with other characters and standing up as his own character instead of being, you know, I mean, it's understandable because Kabe wasn't part of the main story of the Archon quest, and we were kind of introduced to him as Alhaitham's roommate. So up until now, we haven't had any event, any sort of instance in the story, be it in which he hasn't been tied to Alhaitham, which is because Alhaitham was part of the players of the Archon quest. And then in his story quest, of course, the final part, we go to Alhaitham's
The
home.
scribe's work is simple, which is exactly why I took the position.
And of course, Cap is there. So, and it's actually really, I had a good laugh at Paimon forgetting that's supposed to be a secret, but I think it's hardly a secret anyway. But anyway, but yeah, I kind of found it interesting that Cap is like, I mean, in a sense, you can extrapolate him aiming to get the funding from the championship to have his own place. As in a metaphor. I mean, I'm not saying this is the intended purpose of Hoyer's narrative, but you can extrapolate this into I want to get my own place, as in I am as of now standing as my own character and not join to not and be separated from Hayden's character, narratively speaking. I'm not sure if this is going to go anywhere because I think I think the roommate drama is very. I mean, I roommated with like 6 people throughout my life, and I know very well throughout my life, and especially through my university / college years. And I very well know I've had better roommates than others. Sometimes I was probably the offender myself because I suck at housekeeping, and so the dynamic between Alhaitham and Kabe is so college. Is like so university like. I mean, they're graduates, but it doesn't matter. Like it's the same vibe, and it's really. It's really, really great. And sometimes with some opinions, it makes me think that people haven't roommated in their whole life. So, anyways, I understand it's a trope, but it's a really shallow trope compared with the story that's between the two characters. Of course, speaking from purely game lore, I'm not going into I don't really want to. I'm not going into other interpretations. I'm probably you understand what I'm referring to, and interpret it as such if you want to. But please do everyone a favor and don't be a jerk about your interpretations that in the end are just fantasies. So yeah. Also, I'm mentioning that because I probably, you guys have probably noticed that I'm not exactly a fan of the interpretation myself. I think there's something. I think the story goes. It's too deep for it to be ruined by this sort of interpretations. But that's just my stance on it. So you don't have to take my word for it. So and that leads me to the other thing I wanted to speak of, which is the theme that I've been seeing in throughout 3.6, And it's something that now that I remember, I have to continue this, but it's basically I've been noticing a pattern in throughout this entire this entire patch in the different content, and this first part of it then kind of confirmed it for me. That's why I wanted to save it until I saw the vibe of the event. So the thing that seems to be driving 3.6 is difference of opinions, ideas, ideology, views, and such. We first see this in Nahida's chapter, in which she has her discussion with Apep, and Apep, of course, is never going to accept the gods and Celestia's order. And Nahida says that we may disagree, but we can tolerate each other, which is, I think, it's the core of this whole thing. Is the disagreement, but finding like a common ground, you know. And then there's when I was running the WeNuts event, we have these two researchers. I think one's from Murta, the other was from Sharwar, and they're constantly bickering. And in a way that actually reminded me a lot of Alhitam and Kabe. I haven't finished, so I don't know how it's going to finish. But it seems that bickering is like a staple in the academy between Darshans. It reminds me of Windbloom when Sino and Nari discussed that usually bonds in the academia tend to be of the familial sort. It kind of creates that connection between the students and stuff. It makes sense that I mean, Sino and Nari was kind of a different situation because I think they didn't study together. But in that regard, like the bickering sibling vibe between Alhitam and Kabe is really like it gives me that vibe with the researchers in this event, and it seems that it's basically a common thing to happen in Sumeru. It's just amusing, but I mean I guess it's perfect. It's understandable since it's the nation of wisdom and knowledge has many branches and interpretation and stuff. Then we still don't have this, but we know that, and as I said, I'm going to stream Baiju's story quests. And during the live stream, I think the voice actors, I think it was Shandori, Baiju's voice actor mentioned a bit of backstory lore from Baiju, and that his master and Hu Tao's master studied together under the same teacher, but they disagreed and they had a disagreement and parted ways because of their views on life and death. And eventually this led to Boo Boo Pharmacy and the Wangshan Funeral Parlor. Well, they already existed, I guess, but one became a doctor, the other one became a funeral director, funeral parlor director, and basically their differences were passed down to their respective students, being Baiju and Hu Tao. And that's another version of the difference of the discussion and the gulf between people with very opposite ideals and the discussion. And I think it's important, and I guess it will boil down to the importance of finding a bit of of common ground. But it can be really difficult. It depends. I mean, sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. It's just how it is. It all depends on how willing some people are to overlook difference of opinion and focus on similarities. But that's a whole different story. And in this event, we had this moment with the Wanderer and Layla, in which the Wanderer shares his vision on the nature of power, Layla refuses, saying that she chooses to not use that power as to have advantage. And the Wonder is like, well, it's your loss. If you want to wail and about it, and it's your problem. And Layla wonders if she said anything wrong. And then the Traveler mentions that it just boils down to a difference of opinions. And this reminds me basically of this whole thing that's been going on. So yeah, and it's basically the core of that's basically the core of Alhijem and Kabe. Actually, it's there's a line as in I'm going to spoil this one, so you'll allow me. That's one line in characters in Kabe's character story about them being the two sides of a mirror that, by definition, there's an unbridgeable rift that is going to permanently separate them together. But there's also that also ties them together. It's that's like two sides, the same thing with two sides of a coin, and that's not exactly. This is a different trope. I'm going to debunk another one of the myths going around about this trope, because two sides of a coin is not the two sides of a coin, like if they had used the yin and yang symbology, then I could have said yes, this is more like of a and it's not exactly a romance trope, but you can use it as such. But the main difference is because yin and yang have an element of the other side on them, on each side. So that's like it's more like relationship charts than two sides of the same coin. Two sides of the same coin, by definition, is eternally separated but eternally bound. And if used in romance tropes in narrative, it basically is used as tragedy, as in, star-crossed lovers. But it doesn't work well with romance. It's not meant to be. And if it's portrayed, it tends to be fairly toxic. Again, this is all fiction, but basically two sides of the same coin is about balance and respect, and that's basically how it boils down to. If you read each one of their character stories, the thing that actually connects Alhijem and Kabe is respect for another scholar that they consider the equal, but they can't agree with because their visions are completely opposite, and they don't have the yin yang point, that is the other color point in each side. That would mean that they have something of the other in them. That's not exactly how it works here. This is like, again, two sides of a mirror that can't be bridged. But it doesn't mean that they can be a middle ground, not in agreement of ideals. I really doubt that they'll ever agree on their ideals, and their personalities wouldn't allow anything. But it can be built on that mutual respect and that allows. This thing that's said that there's sometimes rivals tends to be the best of friends. That's the vibe I get from them, that they will always be bickering and discussing but there's this deep respect as for another great scholar. And that actually reminds me that I did mention about them being basically Genshin's embodiment of Aristotle and Plato. I mentioned this in a history quest. I really should translate those chapters I have from my philosophy for beginners of kind of It's basically history of philosophy for oversimplified. And I should perhaps, and my book is in Spanish. Maybe I should translate the chapter on Aristotle and Plato and share it. Because if you read that in an oversimplified manner, of course, you would understand why, from where comes this relationship better than, well, I don't really want to say it like that, but there's no other way. This is way more interesting than shallow shipbait, if you ask me. But again, proceed as you will. It's just that as long as you're aware that's how it is, then you'll be fine. In my book, just don't try to make me see stuff where there's none. I mean, it's not just with this. It's basically overall. It's just that I have a long stand beef with shippers, and I tend to draw the ire of the most fanatical ones. But yeah, that's a story for another time, perhaps. I don't really want to. I don't really want to rain on anyone's parade. Like I said, your interpretation, as long as you keep yourself grounded, that's just your interpretation. Just like your interpretation is perfectly. That's perfectly fine. Just have fun with it, and just don't bother anyone with it, and that's that, basically. So yeah, and that's my final statement. And I really didn't want to go into that statement as a closing statement, but I think sometimes some things need to be said, even though if it's a random person on the internet without many followers. But maybe someone will be interested in watching me rumble about this. And this actually went over 2.5 hours past, so I will be closing stream. I will be doing the event booths myself, and I'm not sure when is the next. Okay, so it's going to be one day. So it's probably going to be, today is 27th, so it's probably going to be on Saturday, I guess. So I will be I'm assuming I will be seeing you next Saturday. And if it's tomorrow, then tomorrow, but I guess it will be Saturday, with the second part of the Interdartian Championship. So I do hope that you have a great evening, and see you around for the continuation of this event. And I really hope that you enjoyed my rambles and my reaction, so to speak, to this first part. So have a good one.